You know, I had no doubt in my mind that I was going to come out and win that fight. You know, Duquesnoy is a very, very formal opponent, but, you know, I have a great team. You know, Devin King, Caro, Darren Cruikshank. You know, we planned. I knew exactly what he's going to do. He was the same fighter that he was the last fight. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying that he came out and did exactly what I knew he would do. The kid hits hard. There's no doubt. There's a reason he's that top prospect. But now I'm that top prospect. You know, and I feel like I had a little bit of a chip on my shoulder coming to this fight because I felt like I wasn't getting the respect that I deserved. I was 15-1 too. I had fought a bunch of tough guys. I'd knocked people out. I fought, you know what I mean? I've beat everyone that anyone's ever put in front of me. My only loss is a controversial split decision. And I'm like, why does he have the hype and I don't? And I'm like, well, there's only one way to take it from him. Let's go out and beat his ass. And I did.
That's awesome. That's a great attitude. I wondered kind of what it would be, what your attitude would be when you get matched up with a guy like that, a guy that you know is on the rise, you know?
Yeah, well, you know, I originally had wanted to fight in Detroit. There's no doubt. I wanted to fight in Detroit December 2nd. That was what I was aiming for. You know, that gave me plenty of time between my debut and in Detroit. That gave me plenty of time to, you know, really sit down and get a lot of things, you know, put together. And then the opportunity to fight him came up, and I was like, well, I can't pass this up, you know. I would love to fight at home, but this is a fight that I need, you know, to put myself on the map.
That'd be a super quick turnaround. Is December 2nd off the table now?
Absolutely not. You know, I'm looking at myself right now, and you know, I want to make an excuse and say that, you know, I can't fight December 2nd because I have a fat lip, but, you know, I don't think that's a legitimate excuse. You know, so if the opportunity comes and there's a fight December 2nd, I'm gonna get a paycheck.
Anybody in particular on your mind for that fight?
No, I haven't thought about it, but you know, within the next few days, I wouldn't be surprised if I just start poking at somebody online and see if I can't make them want to fight me.
You feel like that tonight was the type of performance that will get you at least start a little bit of the respect that you deserve, maybe?
You know, I think going out and beating a guy like Duquesnoy, absolutely. You know, I definitely should be on more people's radars now. You know, I wasn't necessarily thrilled with my performance. You know, I really wanted to go out there and put on a fight of the night performance, and I wanted there to be absolutely no doubt in anyone's mind that, you know, I was the next best guy coming in at bantamweight. You know, I think that people could still say that, oh, well, you know, he's a French guy. We knew you were going to wrestle him. We knew this and this and this. You know, people are still going to doubt me, so I definitely need to go out and, you know, really put a stamp on the next guy and have even a better performance. So, you know, while I am satisfied and I'm happy that I got the win, I feel like there's more I could have done, you know, and I'll go back and I'll work on it and I'll get better and let's hurt the next guy.
Did he seriously hurt you at any point in the fight?
You know, he hit me with a body shot in the first round that really hurt me. It was just a clean under my ribs, clean body shot, and I went to cover it and just slid underneath, and it hit me, and he just about took all the life right out of me. I stepped back and smiled at him, but really that was a smile of like just pure agony, because body shots, man, those hurt. But you know, I recovered fast. I was in good shape. But other than that, no, there wasn't a shot that really hurt me, and the kid definitely hits hard. But I was never felt like I was wobbling. There was one time he hit me and I was off balance, and I hit the cage, and I wanted people to know that I wasn't hurt. So when I bounced back, I came back and front kicked him because I didn't want, you know, people to think that, you know, that I was rocked or anything like that. I wasn't.
Were you surprised that they matched you up with him because it seemed like he had some hype? He was a champion in another organization. He's got the look. He's from Europe. You know, he's got a lot of things that maybe they'd want to build up, and then they put him against you, who's.
Are you saying he's better looking than me?
No, but I'm saying that he comes from a certain place where they would be invested in, you know, building him up, and then they put him against you. You're not a cupcake. You're
right.
Equally on the rise.
Right.
And so often two young fighters who are on the rise like that don't meet this early in their UFC career. Were you surprised? I'm asking because I was surprised.
I honestly, I was surprised. Because after my first fight, I went and looked at everyone in the bantamweight division. I started looking at and all the guys I could potentially be fighting. Duquesnoy was like the furthest guy on the list. I'm like, there's no way they're going to put two guys that are 15-1, just got in the show. There's no way him and I are going to fight. That's not likely. And then, you know, when the phone call came and it was Tom Duquesnoy, I'm like, well, I recognize that name. I, you know, went through it, looked, and I was like, that's definitely the fire kid, the French kid that, you know, everyone's been talking about. I'm like, there's no way that they're going to give me that fight. And I told my manager, and I was like, I can beat this kid, but he goes, I don't really think you're going to get this fight. And sure enough, you know, I got a phone call maybe an hour later. He goes, yeah, and they want to give it to somebody else. And then for whatever reason, that person said no, and I already said yes. And so I got plugged in the fight. I'm not sure this is a fight that necessarily, you know, was a match made in heaven for the UFC, but I think it was just he said yes, I said yes, and you know what I mean? The couple other guys fell through, and then I was the other guy that said yes, and it was like, all right, well, let's just do this. And I think that's honestly, I think that's how it happened.
By the way, just curious, you're Michigan guy, 2 Michigan guys in the main event. Where does your heart go?
Kevin is a really, really good friend of mine. Kevin and I came up together. I mean, like, I've known Kevin since before the UFC, before he was a professional. Him and I trained together for a really long time. And, I've watched Kevin get counted out in so many different fights. I've gone with him to fights, and everyone's like, Kevin cannot beat this kid. The guy comes out and he wins. So don't ever question Kevin Lee in his heart, because that kid's got a will to win. And I think that he will go out and pull up an upset against Tony Ferguson.